There are so many benefits of hobbies for mental health. The best hobbies relax you, make you happy, and can even prevent or cure problems like anxiety and depression. Not only are hobbies one of the best ways of exercising the brain, they can even stop mental health problems like depression, anxiety, and stress. Is it any wonder mental health problems are on the rise while hobbies are in decline? Only a few decades ago, we were all spending our evenings on our hobbies. It was common for couples to go dancing, for friends to go bowling, and for families to, do things together. Yeah, these days, TV has taken over. And TV is definitely not the best hobby. The average individual spends 4 hours and 5 minutes a day watching the television according to the NY Times. Read, why you need to quit TV for a year. Because of TV and other adult leisures, social activities are in decline, and hobbies have lost their appeal. Time to start doing some healthy hobbies instead of watching TV. But why are hobbies important? Let's take a look. 9 Surprising reasons why hobbies are important in 20181. Good hobbies give us something else to focus on. Hobbies give us something to focus on that is not related to work. For instance, if you play bowling for a hobby, you can set a goal to beat your personal best score. That goal motivates you, gives you something to strive for that is stress-free, unlike career goals, and takes your mind off of your concerns. This is one of the main reasons why hobbies are important. To take advantage of this, choose a hobby with inherent goals and one that is not related to work. Bowling, for instance, gives us a personal best score to try and beat. That helps take the mind off work. Hobbies like bowling give us something different to think about. 2. The best hobbies increase productivity by making us use time more efficiently. Another benefit of hobbies is that they train us to schedule our time, and this makes us more productive. Scheduling hobbies in this way forces us to work more efficiently on other things. Science tells us that when we give ourselves more time to finish work, we intentionally use all that time even if we don't need to. In other words, give yourself 8 hours to tie a knot and you will take 8 hours tying a knot. Sounds confusing, right? Naval historian Cyril Northcote Parkinson, the author of 60 books, came up with Parkinson's law of time. This law states that the amount of time taken to complete a piece of work will expand dependent on the amount of time we give it. In other words, if you allow yourself 100 hours to complete a project that could be done in 10 minutes, you will intentionally take 100 hours to get it done. Read the book Parkinson's Law for more on this. Scheduling hobbies in this way forces us to work more efficiently on other things. One way to take advantage of this is to choose a hobby that will demand a certain amount of time. Running a marathon, for instance. Marathons demand a certain amount of training. Taking those hours away from work means we have to be more efficient when working. Hobbies like running can improve our time management skills. 3. Good hobbies exercise the brain. Another benefit of hobbies for mental health. Hobbies exercise the brain. Many people get stuck in a repetitive routine, doing the same thing continually. Workaholics, for instance, are always working, and most forms of work only include a set number of mental activities. Sure, a career in finance tests our math and business skills, but there are many areas of the brain that are not used at all. A hobby can complement your work by exercising your brain in different ways. Here's how to take advantage of this. If you work in a logical, order-based role, find a hobby that's creative. If you're a professional artist, find a hobby that's more logic and order-based. If you're always working alone, find a social hobby. If you're always with other people, find a hobby that provides you with alone time. Simply put, choose hobbies that complement your current lifestyle. This will exercise your brain in new ways and teach you new skills. 4. The best hobbies help us get in the flow. One common pitfall that many people fall into, myself included, is that they spend too long being passive. They're idly using Facebook, and Facebook is unhealthy. They're channel hopping, etc. This kind of activity decreases self-awareness and can lead to mental health problems like anxiety. It is far healthier to focus on one activity and to truly get wrapped up in it. This distracts us from stresses and worries and helps us to relax. Choose hobbies that you can get wrapped up in such that you forget about stresses. For me, it's running and yoga. Try paddleboard yoga. Awesome! Running and yoga are two of the best hobbies for mental health. They make me want to improve myself. When I'm doing either, I get completely engrossed in them. They're total chill-out fests. Hobbies like yoga are great for relaxation. Just another reason why hobbies are important. Point 5. Good hobbies help us make new friends. One of the best benefits of hobbies is that they are a fantastic way of making new friends, new connections, and possibly even new romances. Take acting, for instance. I first got into acting when I was at university. I didn't get along with many people on my course. So I took extracurricular lessons, including acting. Within a few months I was part of an acting group and we were working on a show together. There were 20 people in the show. And we all hang out together once a week. 20 new friends from one hobby. That's one heck of a return on investment. Choosing a social hobby can quickly improve your social network, and this has huge benefits on mental health. I've made so many friends through hobbies like acting. Point 6. Good hobbies give us something to talk about. How many times have you been in a situation where you want to talk to someone but you have no clue what to talk about? Hobbies change that. Imagine, you go to a party. You know no one there. Someone asks you about yourself. You tell them about an interesting hobby you have. Bingo! You're immediately interesting. You have something to talk about. And the other person can easily start asking you questions. Tell me about you. They ask. I'm Paul and I commentate at video game tournaments for fun. Which is true, by the way. Whoa, really? They are genuinely interested. How does that work? The rest of the conversation is easy. As someone who has suffered from shyness, this is one of my personal favorite benefits of hobbies. They give you something to talk about. Commentating, an alternative hobby, something to talk about. Point 7. The best hobbies stop stress. It is unhealthy to focus too much attention on any one thing. Doing so wears us out, gives us a warped perspective, and narrows our view on life. Plus, when we put all your eggs in one basket, we set yourself up for stress. Stress is one of the main killers. So this is one of the main reasons why hobbies are important for health. Hobbies give us an opportunity to focus on something else. And to a degree, it doesn't matter what the hobby is, provided it takes the mind off of stress. One way to capitalize on this benefit is to do a hobby that is not remotely related to work. Choose something that is the opposite of your work. That way we will not be reminded of the office when we're doing a hobby. For instance, kayaking. Kayaking is one of the best hobbies for relaxation and exercise. Hobbies like kayaking and canoeing offer amazing relaxation. Point 8. Good hobbies bring passive income. I personally believe it's best to leave money to your career and to choose a hobby for the pleasure, health benefits. But we can't ignore the fact that a hobby could potentially bring in extra income. When I started commentating video game tournaments, I did so for sheer pleasure. I was not thinking about making money or any sort of career prospects. It was a fun thing to do, that's all. Recently, however, I've started making money from commentating. Only a little, but every little helps. And there could potentially be more of it down the line. Some extra income. Now that's a nice additional benefit of hobbies. This is not one of the most important reasons why hobbies are important, in my opinion, but it is a nice bonus. Blogging, for instance. There is definitely a chance to make money blogging, provided you put a lot of effort in and are a little lucky. Hobbies like blogging can create passive income. 9. The best hobbies make us get out to new places. This is one of my favorite reasons why hobbies are so important in 2018. I'm going to wholeheartedly confess that I've been in my lounge for the past 5 hours. That's partly because we're in the middle of an extreme heat warning. But I'm also having an idle day. One idle day is fine. Too many will choke the life right out of the soul. Hobbies can help. One of the benefits of hobbies for mental health is that they get us out of the house. Many hobbies demand that we visit new places. Photography, for instance. If we want to take photos of nice areas, we have to go to nice areas. Or team sports. We will have to visit your competitor's field, ice rink, gym. Or walking, hiking, or I could go on. Lots of hobbies demand that we visit new areas. And that's a fantastic reason to get out of the house and go somewhere new. Novelty is extremely important for mental health. Read, what's new? Exuberance for novelty has benefits. It's important to not spend too much time in the same place. Hobbies motivate us to visit new areas. Hobbies like photography get us out to new places, which is excellent for mental health. Yet another reason why hobbies are important. Here's how to choose the best hobby for you. Different hobbies offer different benefits. Answer these questions to find the perfect hobby for you. What are you currently missing? If there was one thing you would like to add to your current lifestyle, what would it be? More social time? Competition? Relaxation? What hobby would fill that gap? What health need could your hobby help with? Are you getting enough cardio? Exercising your brain enough? Spending enough time outdoors? How could a hobby help with this? What one interest would you like to further? We all have many different interests. Most hobbies come from choosing one interest and running with it. What are you most interested in? How can you turn that into a hobby? What skill would you like to have? You will likely become pretty good at your hobby. With that in mind, 5 years down the line, which hobby would you be happiest that you dedicated time to? What social groups would you like to be involved with? How could your hobby help? Hobbies are a fantastic way of getting involved with new social groups. What kind of people would you like to spend time with? What hobby will give you those connections? The best hobbies for happiness in 2018. Hobbies offer big benefits for happiness. And they are an easy way to improve wellness. But what are the absolute best hobbies for health and happiness? The best 10 hobbies for mental health and happiness. 1. Meditation is the best hobby for relaxation. Meditating is without doubt the #1 hobby for happiness. There are over 100 scientifically proven health benefits of meditation. As a meditation teacher, I've personally seen how practicing meditation can quickly and powerfully create happiness, physical and mental health, and of course, relaxation. And there are many more things meditation can help with too. If you spend just 20 minutes a day meditating, it will have a massive impact on your life. Promise. Take a look at that link above. After reading it, I virtually guarantee you will start meditating. There are apps that help make meditation a habit. These can be a good way to get started meditating. 2. Dance is the best hobby for happiness. Dancing is the best social hobby for happiness. Is it just coincidence that mental health issues are on the rise at the same time that dance is in decline? More people have mental health issues now than ever in history, and less people are dancing. Think about your average black and white 50s movie. People danced in it, and they were happy. Not today. Now no one dances and not many people are genuinely happy. Anecdotal evidence, true, but dancing is definitely good for mental health. In fact, dancing is one of the best hobbies for happiness. Scientific research has proven that dance can help with everything from happiness, to Parkinson's disease, to neurological movement disorders. In a 2008 edition of Scientific American, a neuroscientist at Columbia University wrote that dance stimulates the brain and activates sensory and motor circuits to create a pleasure double play. Source: Harvard. Positron emission tomography imaging, a process that takes images of metabolic processes in the body, shows that dance activates specific regions of the brain. Dance activates regions of the brain associated with coordination, planning, control, movement, and hand-eye coordination. And all of these are improved by dancing. A 2003 study in the New England Journal of Medicine shows that dancing boosts brain health. One reason we put it in this list of daily brain training activities. Take a look. The test compared dance to swimming, cycling, golf, tennis, and other physical activities. The researchers concluded that dance is the only physical activity, out of the ones they tested, to reduce the risk of dementia. Another study in 2012 by North Dakota's Minot State University showed that Zumba improves emotions, boosts happiness, and enhances cognitive skills like visual recognition. Dancing makes us happy. Simple. And meditative dance is even better. Now I gotta cut loose. Footloose. Kick off the Sunday shoes. 3. Acting is the best hobby for making friends. Acting is a brilliant artistic hobby for happiness. Acting is one of the best hobbies for mental health. But it can also cause psychological problems. Confused. The benefits of acting as a hobby. Amateur acting is generally fantastic. Joining a theater group is a great way to make new friends. Learning lines is good for the memory. When we perform, we become more mindful of the way we move the body, which is fantastic for mindfulness. And putting on a live show is a brilliant way of getting out of your shell, especially if, like me, you suffer from shyness. As an actor, I started as an amateur and became a professional. My amateur career was fun and healthy. Amateur dramatics were fantastic for my mental health. I joined a theater group, made friends, socialized, learned new plays, and put on great shows. It was all so good. Then I turned pro. Turning pro means doing pro things like method acting. As a professional actor, I've used many different acting techniques, such as Stanislavski's method. These techniques train us to bring up highly emotional memories to create emotional states that we then use in a show. This can be a cathartic practice. But it can also cause emotional trauma. When I was preparing for Hamlet, I got far too into the role. I was method acting Hamlet every day. It got to the point where I actually hallucinated that I was inside an old castle in Denmark with Claudius having just killed my dad. And no, there were no narcotics involved in this incident. We're not talking River Phoenix in the Viper Room here. Repeatedly digging up emotional memories made me genuinely depressed. And I am not alone. There are countless stories of actors who experience psychological disorders as a result of acting. The Atlantic has an insightful article about actor and playwright Deborah Margolin that explains more on this. Read it here. But back to the point, amateur dramatics are a fantastic hobby for happiness, and incredibly healthy for the mind. 4. Mind-body exercises, yoga, tai chi, qigong, are the best hobbies for relaxation and inner peace. Tai chi is a good hobby for relaxation. In my guide to using yoga for positivity, I discuss how yoga is one of the absolute best ways of boosting your happiness. But it isn't just yoga. Mind-body exercises like yoga, tai chi and qigong exercise both body and mind and are wonderfully relaxing. Scientific research shows that qigong, tai chi, and yoga are effective ways of stopping anxiety, depression, and mood disorders. Though research is in its infancy, some studies suggest that tai chi and qigong are both effective ways of treating insomnia, cognitive impairment, and even Parkinson's disease. Source: National Library of Medicine. The 15 million people who practice yoga in North America are also boosting their physical and mental health and happiness. Yoga is fantastic for weight loss, pain management, illness, strength and flexibility. Source: Mayo Clinic. And 90% of people say they start yoga as a way to manage stress and improve mood. Source: Huffington Post. Yoga slows down the heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and increases heart rate variability. At the same time, it increases neurotransmitters and boosts GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. GABA helps get us out of a narrow-minded perspective and reduces the symptoms of stress and anxiety. 1 single hour of yoga increases GABA by 27%. Yoga also helps with depression. One scientific study showed that 20 sessions of yoga reduced anger and elevated mood in those with major depression disorder. Source: National Institute of Medicine. My advice? Choose at least one mind-body exercise to do at least once a week for an hour. My choice is yoga. How about you? Leave a comment and remember to subscribe to our newsletter below. Let me show you which yoga style is best for you. Or you could always try one of those crazy new alternative things yogis are doing. 5. Walking, hiking, running in nature is the best hobby for depression, anxiety and overall mental health. Running is one of the best physical exercise hobbies for happiness and is also very effective at helping to beat depression. Wondering how good running is for you? Take a look at this article about how running absolutely kills depression. Researchers at Stanford have proven what we've all known for years: getting out of the streets and into nature boosts happiness and lowers the risk of depression. The study, which was published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, stated that 90 minutes in a natural area decrease activity in the region of the brain associated with depression. The researchers asked a group of participants to walk either through a forested area or next to a busy main road. They then tested the participants' heart rates and neural activity. The group who walked in the forested area had reduced activity in the subgenual prefrontal cortex, a region of the brain associated with negative emotions, where the other group did not. Source: Stanford. This is especially important news for the more than 50% of the world's population living in urbanity. City dwellers are 40% more likely to have mood disorders, 20% more likely to experience anxiety disorders, and twice as likely to develop schizophrenia. Walking and hiking are two of the best hobbies for happiness. But running may be even better, especially at preventing and treating depression. When we run, evolution takes over. We start running and the reptilian brain interprets this as meaning we are in a fight-or-flight situation. This is why we feel excited when we start running. This fight-or-flight response initially creates stress. The body reacts by releasing brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein. This protein creates calm and alertness, making us feel cheerful. Another reason running is a good hobby for happiness is because it allows us to set goals, like personal best times or distances. This gives us something positive to work towards, and a sense of motivation and achievement. Running gets even better when we run as a group, especially a supportive group. This makes us even happier and improves relationships with the people we run with. Walking is great too. Research has proven that there are huge benefits that come from just taking a walk. 6. Art, writing, photography are good hobbies for creativity. Photography is another excellent artistic hobby for happiness. It's important to exercise your creative brain. Hobbies can help. Art, writing, and photography are all hobbies with very similar benefits. Artistic hobbies are a fantastic way of exercising the creative brain. They train the brain to be more creative and more expressive. And they are usually relaxing. The past few decades have seen the rise of art-based therapy, art therapy, drama therapy, dance therapy. These therapies prove that artistic hobbies can help improve mental health. Artistic hobbies are good for happiness too. They make us more aware of the beauty in the world, give us a way to express ourselves, allow to create beautiful works, and teach us new skills. There are 2 ways to make them even better. For starters, try practicing real-life art. Draw still life. Photograph beautiful and relaxing scenes. And write about pleasant experiences. This turns art into a mindfulness exercise. Do you love writing? Take a look at these mindful writing activities. 7. Gardening is a good hobby for relaxation and happiness. Gardening is a relaxing hobby that slows the mind. Nothing makes you more relaxed than designing a Zen garden. Click the link for a cool tutorial. Considerable research has proven that gardening is good for mental health. And little wonder. The flowers, the fresh air, getting your hands dirty. There are lots of reasons why gardening is one of the best hobbies for happiness. For starters, looking after plants is similar to looking after pets. It's a responsibility, something to care for. I can remember the first time I was gardening. I was a weak 7-year-old in primary school. All the kids were given a square foot of earth to plant what we like. I planted lavender because it reminded me of my grandma. And the whole time I had a big grin on my pudgy little face. Even for kids, gardening is a great hobby for happiness. Gardening gives us a great perspective. Looking at all those beautiful trees and flowers reminds us that we are just one tiny little flower petal in this giant garden of a universe. Group gardening adds to things. Research in 2003 showed that the collective skills required for group gardening make it one of the best activities for those with mental health conditions and, interestingly, for prisoners too. Let's not forget how relaxing gardening is as well. Whether we're just looking at the flowers or rhythmically thrusting the spade into the earth, gardening is a truly therapeutic pastime. Gardening is definitely one of the best hobbies for mental health. Let's go get our hands dirty and plant something beautiful. 8. Spending time at the beach is one of the best hobbies for relaxation. Getting out to the beach is good for the body, mind and soul. Nothing feels better than putting your shorts or bikini on and hitting those golden sands on a warm day. The moment we get to the beach, the body releases serotonin, relaxing us, and the blue sea, even bluer sky, the swash of the ocean waves, and the seemingly infinite expanse of water calms us, while the rays of sunlight give us some light therapy. Getting enough vitamin D is important too. You'll get your daily amount in just 10 minutes of beach time on a warm day. That vitamin D is vital to physical and mental health and produces strong bone and happy minds. The salt water in the sea is of antifungal and antibacterial properties that can clear out infections, so long as the water is clean, of course. Damn industrial pollutants. The water also contains iodine, which is antiseptic and helps boost the thyroid gland, upping the immune system. While the water is working its miracles, the sand exfoliates the hands, feet and body, getting rid of those dead skin cells. And the sun opens up the skin pores to detoxify us. These are just some of the benefits of the beach. There's also the swimming, socializing, the connecting with nature. Spending time at the beach is unquestionably one of the best hobbies for happiness, and it's great for our health too. 9. Cooking is one of the best hobbies for health. Nothing beats learning to cook for yourself. Dana Valden, author of the inspirational must-read Zen cooking book Finding Yourself in the Kitchen, says this cooking is compelling in part because of the physicality. It requires a kind of engagement that is both grounding and practical. Cooking brings together lots of cognitive processes. There's the creativity of creating a meal, the practicality of following a recipe, mindfulness that comes from focusing on the senses, smells, sights, etc. in the kitchen, and the accomplishment of creating something beautiful. I personally cook at least once a day and often 3 times a day. I do this partly because I cannot stand processed food, partly because I obey my own cooking, but mostly because it is so utterly rewarding. I guess I've been doing culinary therapy, which is the new trend in mental health clinics. Culinary therapy is used for treating many mental health disorders, including anxiety, ADHD, depression, eating disorders and addiction. The reason cooking is one of the best hobbies for mental health isn't just because of the healthier meals and nutrition, either. There are many healthy psychological processes that take place when we cook. For starters, when we cook, meaning when we are intentionally conscious of what we're doing, we bring ourselves back into the present moment. You can read more about this in my guide to learning to cook for yourself. Then there's the fact that cooking for ourselves makes us more aware and more appreciative of food in general. Many people eat mindlessly, which is bad both the gut and for the mind. Being more appreciative of food makes us enjoy it more and makes us more likely to choose healthy and natural foods. Then there's the creativity. Cooking is a truly creative process, taking the ingredient from their raw state to a finished meal. It's creativity that ends with a tasty treat. Cooking is one of the best hobbies for happiness and health. 10. Altruism and compassion are 2 of the best hobbies for happiness. Volunteering is one of the best hobbies for mental health. Me article on the stunning